Hey, community group leaders and teachers, I hope you're doing well and having a fabulous day. Hey, I'm excited to introduce this week's Leadership Minute. This is one more tool we can have in our tool belt to lead more effectively. Throughout the month of April, I am looking at some tools that we can deploy as community group leaders, teachers, and directors to help our groups grow in new and fresh ways. Just like as a church family, Easter Sunday, we had a lot of extra people within our walls. The challenge of every church is not just getting a bunch of people to show up on one Sunday a year or a couple Sundays a year, but how do we move those people and transition them from people that show up for maybe one or two events to people that are actively engaged and partnering with what God is doing in the life of our community for the sake of His good, and that they're willingly growing closer to Him in the process of doing that. I think there's some simple things we can do as leaders, actually know that from experience, and so I want to share a couple of those and help us maybe potentially use those in our groups to grow. So last week we talked about one great idea. This week I want to talk about another thing instead of just the next thing. It's a really simple, tangible, practical way that we can help our groups grow. That's simply by using this tool right here. It's getting data from people that show up in our group for the first time. So you can use this form. It's in all of your community group rooms. It simply has information for their name, their email, their phone number, their address, and maybe even a prayer request. So a very simple form, nothing complex about it. But what that does in getting contact information is when you have a first-time guest that walked into your room, now you have a way of following up with them. And the beauty and the challenge of getting this information is not just that you simply gather content or gather information, but you actually do something with it. So my challenge to you, when you get this information as a leader, follow up with them that Sunday, right after church, before you leave the building. Be sure to record a short message on your phone, maybe record a selfie video and text it to them. Or maybe just shoot them a quick text saying, hey, you know what? Thank you so much for visiting my group today. I really appreciate that you came. I noticed on the form you filled out that you asked for prayer for this thing. Know that I'm committed to praying for you this week. Invite someone else in your group then to also follow up that week by saying, hey, you know what? I'm praying for you for this thing. What you're communicating to that person is you took their information seriously, you took their prayer request seriously, you care about them as an individual, and they're going to want to come back because of that. On Saturday, take that same information and text them saying, you know what, it was so good to see you last week. I've been praying for you this last week for this thing you asked me to pray for. Please come back to our group again this Sunday because we're doing this. So you've done 3 points of contact where you've contacted them right away, you contacted them or had someone else in your group contact them midweek, you contact them again on Saturday to invite them back to your group on Sunday. Doing so will tell people that you care, that you actually want to pray with them, but that there's a place for them and they matter in your group. So come up with a follow-up plan and stick to it. My suggestion is use a 3-contact method the same week you get contact information from a guest in your group. If you have any questions about this tip or any other Leadership Minute, please feel free to give me a call, shoot me a text or an email or something. I just want to give you more resources to help your group grow and be the best group it can be so that we can develop Jesus followers who know how to impact their families, their neighbors, their city, and the world with the hope of the gospel. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I look forward to talking with you soon. Hey, blessings, friends.